Good morning, magandang umaga, and welcome to today's episode of My PI Dream. Today is build day 43. I believe it's build day 43 on the construction schedule for the pool project in the backyard of Villa Feliz. Now this morning, I am working on something that I said I was going to work on yesterday, but remember we had some guests here yesterday, so I had to push it off. I will tell you right now that I started it this morning, and I don't want to give a spoiler alert to the process, but you can see I'm smiling right now. But then I smile most of the time. So you would never know if I had a problem with something because I usually try to find a solution. Well, anyway, the guys are here on the scene this morning. They're doing their thing in the pool. I'm doing my thing outside the pool, and we're going to talk about that in just a moment. So let's go ahead and get today's episode started. Now, without further delay, let's get today's video underway. I've already kind of evaluated what I think the guys are going to be doing this morning inside the swimming pool. You can see the wall is wet, and the reason the wall is wet is because they are going to be doing the tile. Remember I showed you the tile? Well, it's kind of dirty right now, but that was the tile selection that they're going to be doing on the wall, all this section right here. So the wetting down of the wall helps with the tile adhesive to make sure that we have a good bonding strength between the tile adhesive and the tile and the concrete on the wall over there. Continuing to work on the stonework down here on the column support for the base of the bridge. They'll be doing that today. Our stonework over here, mixing up some cement work. We'll be continuing to work with our waterfall. And now for what I am working on this morning that I alluded to earlier this morning in the opening of the episode is this right here. Remember I told you that I was going to try to find a way to do some bullnosing, some buffing of this, and you can see, or maybe you can't see, maybe you can't see, but look at there. I was successful. I got a very nice bullnose using my little buffing pads that I use for my granite. And I'm not even going to make it to where it goes up to a higher level into the thousands of the grit. I'm staying down. I'm going to stay down with the 50, and I think what I have on here right now is like a, I don't know, maybe a 2. I think this is a 200 I have right here, a 200 grit. So I think I'm going to stop at the 200, only use the 2. Remember, I could go up to 3,000, 5,000 grit, but remember, we don't want to make this shiny. We don't want to make this slippery. We want it to continue to have a little bit of a roughness because this is anti-slip. This is our anti-slip tile that's going to go to the bottom. Now, I was concerned at first that I might get a different color right here on the edge, and I thought, well, if this is maybe some type of a material similar to porcelain, it wouldn't make a difference because it would be the same throughout, and indeed it is the same throughout. There was just a little bit of a shininess on here, but let me show you what happens when this goes underneath the water and this gets wet. It's going to be darker when it's underneath the water. Let me put some water on my hand over here. I got my finger with a little bit of water on here, and this is what it will look like. So you see, when it goes underneath the water, you will not even see any of the buffing on there. So this is going to work great. So my project this morning is to take about 20 of these tiles, 25 of these tiles, go ahead and do the bullnose buffing on this right here, and then I will present this to the contractor. And what we might also do, I might get later on, I might get the tile cutter, my tile saw that I have down in the basement, and we might pre-cut all the angles on here for the curves. Remember, if you do things like with curves, like let's just say for instance, if we wanted to make this curve right here, well, one side of the tile is going to be shorter than the other. It's going to stick out. And what we can do, we can assign that. We can have that all ready in preparation for the contractor when it comes time for him to go ahead and install these non-slip edges for the drop down from the 4-foot to the 5-foot section. It is really windy today. It is extremely windy. I didn't see anything about a typhoon coming through, but during the months usually of December and January, we have a lot of windy days. Well, let's get back to the task at hand. Now these tiles, I need about 20 of these. I did 23. What I did, I cleaned up the edges on here using the buffing pad for the granite, and I made them all in a bullnose, nice soft edge, just like we have over here. So I have a few extra in case we break any during our other cutting that we need to do. That's the easy task. The easy task is completed. The next task that's going to have to be done is we have to match these up on the pool. And you know, some of the pool, it's rounded, so we're gonna have to cut off some edges where this is the very far front, and we're going to have to trim back. Now, depending on how round the radius is that's going to be on the floor, will determine what method that we would probably choose to do the adjustments of these tiles. Now, we could put them through a tile cutter or tile saw, and if we need to cut off a lot, if we have to actually cut maybe like 1/4 of an inch off, then maybe that's the option. And then after we do that, then we can adjust with the buffing pad, making it very smooth again. And if it's only just a few millimeters that we have to do, then we can actually take the most coarse buffing pad that I have, which is the 50 grit, and we could use that to trim it back with that. So we'll take a look at that in just a little bit. But right now, I want to show you something. I just noticed this morning. Do you remember when we were cleaning out a little garden here that had all the strawberries inside, and I pulled out all the long runners and all the long leaves, and I said to promote a healthier strawberry season, if you cut them all back, they will all grow new plants. And you can see, look at all the new plants that are coming up inside here. Well, not new plants, because the plant's actually inside the ground, but the new growth of the new leaves inside here, and these will all be much healthier. And our second island over here, you can see the plants are doing great. The strawberry plants are coming in very nice. So you can see in a couple of weeks when the swimming pool is done, these should be almost all filled in here, and we'll have a very nice floor covering that covers all the soil inside here, and it'll be a nice complement to the swimming pool over here. I got to tell you, I am really impressed at the level that these guys do to make sure that we have good waterproofing. So, and you're probably saying to yourself, why are they waterproofing this little wall in the center of the pool that is not exposed to the outside? Well, something you have to take in consideration, even though this is not connected as an exterior wall, this wall is porous. It's made out of concrete hollow block, it's made out of concrete, and water can get inside here. Now, if you didn't have this waterproofed here, and you didn't have this waterproofed here, because you know this is our planter over here, well, water could get inside this portion of the wall. It could seep through capillary action over into the planter concrete wall that we have right here, and then eventually leak inside here. So that's really important to make sure that you cover all of your exposed area that's going to have water with the waterproofing. Well, it is after lunch, and Ness and I took the opportunity during our lunchtime to go to our favorite nursery in Rosario, Edgar Torreros' nursery. It's behind McKilling if you're ever in Rosario, and I'll try to put his Facebook link up somewhere around here so that you can see. Well, anyway, I asked him, you ask him for anything, he can get you anything, I'm telling you. So remember we put our betel, that's a betel palm there. I asked him, I want a second betel palm right here. So he was able to source out and get us another betel palm, and we're going to remove the mangosteen. I think we're going to do this today. We'll remove the mangosteen, we'll put it in a bag, we'll put it back in our raised bed garden as a holding point for it to be put someplace else. I don't know where we're going to put the mangosteen, but he got us a very healthy looking betel palm, and we'll put it inside this place right here. Also, I needed another Sago Palm, or we call them Sago in the US, but I asked him to get me another one for this area right here. We have one over here, and I wanted to put one over here in this area as well, so they're kind of balanced. So I was able to get this from Edgar as well. And I also want to show you something else. Edgar is so cool. If you ever go and you buy And I buy a bunch. You can see most of the plants that we have around here from Edgar's place. And every time I go, he gives me a freebie or 2 or 3. Today he gave me 3 freebies, and that's these ferns right here. So I asked him, what is a good plant for me to put in my plant boxes on the side of the waterfall? A good jungle type of a plant that likes water. He said, look at these. He showed me these ferns right here. So he said, here, I'll give you a gift. And he gave me 3 of these very healthy, beautiful ferns over here. So we'll see if we can't integrate these into our water feature over here. Now, even though they only have a certain percentage of the tiles in place right now, I want you to see we have enough to get a feeling for our transition from what we're calling the deeper section and the more shallow section. And it's more obvious now that more of the tiles are up. So I want you to feel the transition as we go from the deeper area. You can imagine all the floor is the same color as this right here. And then you go over and you transition over to this tile over in this area. And remember, it's separated by stone. So there is no tile to tile. You don't see that. And it's really nice that we have this bridge here, the bridge here that does the separation. And the transition drops down underneath the bridge here. So can you see what I'm talking about? Where you'll feel the difference between a deeper and a more shallow area. Now, as we do every single day, we're going to do the end of day wrap up. Let's look and see what we have completed today on day 43 of our pool build in the backyard. So anyway, you can see we have a lot more wall tile going on here. And this is the tile, it's the lighter color tile that we have that's supposed to identify you're in a more shallow area of the swimming pool. It's made by the same company. Let's see if you can see the name. Yeah, here's the name of the company right here. Venezia is the tile that we have over there and the tile we have here. Okay, it says made in China. It says made in China. I think the first box that we had, I think it said it was made in Indonesia or it was made in, I don't remember where the other box said it was from, but they said it was import quality, and it looks like really, really nice tile. Now, I'm not going to crawl down and get in these guys' way because they're just making such great progress down here. But you can see we're halfway up on the wall on this column right here. Remember the one on the other side over there, back over there, they are pretty much done except for just a couple of tiles on the top. And they're doing some of the more difficult area of here, which is going to be the rounded side where they're coming around the edge and making their interface with the tile in the deeper side of the swimming pool. Also over here, lots of work. You can see the waterfall is really coming into shape. I don't know if you can see, we got it's like the 2 little pools up there, and you can see there's some planters. You got some planters going on over here. I think he calls them plant boxes, right? Plant boxes. Yeah. Okay. And we have plant boxes on the side. We've got plant boxes on the top side over here. We have it over here near where the coping is, and I believe we have one over here also on top of the coping. So we'll have some real nice greenery going on with the waterfall along with the water coming down and the nice stoneworks. So coming along really well. Well, even though the guys are still working, it is right at 5 o'clock. And what I need to do, I need to close today's episode before the sun goes down and we have no light to see anything back here. A lot of work done today, and it's exciting because this is the first time you've got an opportunity to see the new tile that we selected for the shallow end of the swimming pool. It's looking really good. It won't be that much long before we get that second column all the way to the top with the araal stone. And let's see, what is the next episode? Oh, and then we have the stonework being done for the waterfall. I'll be excited to test it out to see how that works. I'm still not sure the design, how that thing is exactly supposed to work with the two little pool things that they got set up there. But we'll find out soon enough. I'm excited. Anyway, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did enjoy today's episode, please give me a thumbs up. Please share. And if you have not subscribed, just click on that little MPID dream heart in the bottom right hand side of your screen. You'll be subscribed and notified the next time I upload a new video. So until such time from right here in the Philippines, you have a wonderful and blessed day. If you enjoyed today's episode and you would like to see more just like these, just click on one of the helpful links over to your right and you might be able to pick up on some good information on DIY projects, how to, or if you are interested in moving to the Philippines and building, you'll find answers there as well.